Hey internet, I thought this was another good day for a vlog, particularly because I have my hair all fancy because I'm going to a nice thing tonight. I always schedule haircuts on days when I know I both have a fancy event to go to and hopefully I also have a free block of time to do some video recording. That is what the kids, I believe, are calling a life hack. Okay, not really. You get the idea. I'm not here to talk about life hacks though. I'm here to talk about a couple other developments in the online dating world. So first of all, you guys have probably seen that trailer for The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, this awesome looking movie that's coming out. There was a really interesting piece a while back about how eHarmony had actually been thinking about rolling out this paid like $5,000 dating coach service. And when the studio called them to check in about it, it kind of gave them a timeline for getting that together. Here's the thing. I mean, the movie hasn't released yet. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know the full breadth of it, but the deal is paying for a coach makes sense. I am a coach. I want you to pay for certain types of advice. I don't want you to pay $5,000 for what eHarmony is trying to give you. I get really frustrated when there are coaches who will basically masquerade as clients and who will ghostwrite their profiles completely for them, and particularly who will pretend to be them in things like messaging, setting up dates, communicating. Like, I get that that's a lot of work and that people are busy. I have to turn down clients who want that kind of service from me all the time. I think it's unethical, but beyond the like minor ethical, well, ranging from major to minor kind of ethical violation there. It's really more about it being fundamentally inefficient and stupid. Basically, if you are in the process of trying to find a life partner, a serious mate, you're not just sort of casually dating, it matters a lot that you be emotionally and logistically involved in that process. Every little nuance of which you read in someone's profile, of which you see in the way they punctuate their messages and the timing of the back and forth, that little of excitement that you get when you see a message from them, that is part of the development of your emotional trajectory. Whether you realize it or not, you're involved at a different level when you are the agent in those activities. And when you outsource that to somebody else, not only is it a little bit disingenuous to that person because they're probably going to sense that mismatch in tone and vibe and enthusiasm and whatever else when they meet you in person. It's going to be a little weird. You probably won't have fully digested all of the emails that your surrogate sent them, and they're going to reference something that you said and you're like, huh? And you're going to look like a weirdo, and you're going to be the exact reason that people are freaked out about meeting people online because you technically are kind of catfishing them. Like, that's screwy to me. But beyond that, like, you are not making the emotional effort, and that means that you're more likely to take longer finding that right person. Like, part of the online dating process and the dating process, like finding somebody to settle down with, is the little nitpicky, like, things that hung you up in the beginning are things that you start to see don't matter so much after you were like, well, I don't want to date anybody who's under 5'7" or something, and you meet this amazing person who isn't what you thought you wanted in a height metric, but is everything that you wanted in like a compassion and caring and like generous and interested in what you have to say part. So, I mean, that's a pretty important piece, right? And I think that people learn to readjust their expectations from superficial stuff like that to deeper, bigger picture things like whether they would date somebody who has kids, whether it's really important that they date somebody who's a compatible religion or dietary preference or just like physical attractiveness level, like chemistry in the bedroom, all of this stuff. It's like these pieces matter so much, and you start to figure out yourself better and you start to go on much better dates when you're involved and it's your taste and experience that's kind of factoring into who you're picking and how soon you're setting up dates, how many dates you're setting up like every week. Like, if you're juggling 3 different people or you're finally are like, oh, I just want to focus on this one person, like, that is significant. That all weighs into how much you take that relationship seriously and you pursue it. And when you put that initial push on other people, you're making the rest of the process harder. You're putting in a roadblock to developing intimacy with the people that you do eventually want to really click and connect with. And let me tell you, if you think that it's weird to hire a coach like me to kind of give you life and relationship advice, people are way more weirded out when they find out that it was a different person like writing to them. What I do tends to be pretty darn collaborative, and I go out of my way to force my clients to like rewrite the things that I'm suggesting to them in their own words and punctuation. Often what I'm doing is taking stuff that a client says to me in my Q&A session and regurgitating into it in a profile answer in a way that they didn't think to do on their own, but it's their own thoughts and sentiments and even words. It's just that I'm showing them how they can better use that part of their personality and demonstrate that to the world. Like, I'm really helping people show their best selves. And there are coaches, I won't lie, there are coaches out there who take a different tack, and that's fine. Try working with them if you want to. But I just think that fundamentally you're sort of blocking yourself from the kind of experiences that you really want to have, which is like finding somebody to fall in love with and falling in love with them. You're making all of that harder for $5,000 of like awkward help. And I will say too, frankly, if eHarmony is that great, if eHarmony is so fantastic on their compatibility metrics and all that, you shouldn't need a coach on a site that's that expensive. Coaches give you more bang for your buck on a cheap site, on a site like OkCupid that's either free or like, you know, a minimal amount per month. I honestly think that you're better off spending that money on advice or advice product, but usually like straight up personalized advice plus free or cheap online dating, and then spend a little more on drinks, on dinners. Like when you, instead of spending the $60 a month or whatever it is when it's month to month on eHarmony, spend that money on taking people to actual dinner dates instead of coffee dates. Spend that time and money investment on like sending like longer, more thoughtful emails to a smaller group of people. Like there are all these cost benefit sort of analyses that you have to do to figure out if you're going to pay for any part of online dating, what you're comfortable paying for. But my God, $5,000. I know it was in a blockbuster movie. Ben Stiller makes it look amazing. That's Ben Stiller, right? And in the end, doesn't he fall in love with Kristen Wiig? I mean, I haven't seen the whole movie, but she sure features prominently in the trailer. So I'm thinking that his eventual love line may not, in fact, be the thing that eHarmony gets him, you know, hooked up with. And that's fine, whatever. Movies, movies, movies. Real life, consider doing something that doesn't cost you $5,000. And kind of waste your time. Like, try a different, lower sort of investment approach first. I really think you're going to see better results, and I'm happy to help you see them. So track me down at theheartographer.com if that's what you would like. But if not, I hope this has been helpful and at least given you a little insight as to how to not spend that large of a chunk of money. Woo! All right, I'll see you cats later. Bye!